It's such an honor to be with you throughout this journey for almost 2 years now, right?
Still, even after the so-called ceasefire, Israel occupies many parts of the Gaza Strip. Break the ceasefire nearly over 300 times. The situation is still so bad, and still my people right now, after they have lost everything, they still living in a small tents which cannot cover you from the rain or from the sun or from the bombs or from whatever. And as you know that the winter is coming, and we believe that this land is ours, and we have to show them that despite everything, we will do the best that we can, even if it's just a tent, because this land is ours, and whatever that you wanted to do, we will not stop because this land is ours and we are fighting for it.
Yeah, this colonial entity, this Israeli settler colonialism, I mentioned that they are very stubborn, and they are stubborn and very sophisticated.
There is a group of criminals, as I said before, that they are stealing the aid and they do not allow it to reach the people in Gaza who really need.
You speak bravely about these entities like these gangs and the zombies, right? I really like about them because there are other
Yeah.
Gazans. There are, other Gazans that I contacted as well, and they are, sort of fearful to even talk about them. But the thing is, if you don't talk about them, they will eventually overhaul you in the end, and they will take over. That's how simple it is.
Of course, there's a day for the freedom of Palestine, and one
Yeah.
day Palestine will be free, and we will celebrate with each other for the freedom of Palestine.
Okay, so it is an honor to have one more time with me Amir Ismail. After surviving this entire genocide, and despite getting your home destroyed, despite getting displaced 17 times, and still here with a strong willpower to, now get all these roles like this young activist and live streamer, a citizen journalist. I would like to mention that a citizen journalist and doing an excellent job on all social media platforms. It's an honor to have you again, Amir Ismail. How are you? And Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you so much for the invitation. May Allah bless you. Would be honored, brother. And alhamdulillah, we are doing well. We are still breathing. We are still alive. Still, we are doing the best that we can. Still, we are full of hope despite everything that we are going through, and still we are going through even after the so-called ceasefire. So alhamdulillah for everything. How are you? I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I am fine. And Gaza is, in our hearts. We have been in this throughout. Consistency is the main tool in these issues, and very few people actually remain consistent with with a strong will. And it's such an honor to be with you throughout this journey for almost 2 years now, right? We have been together for 2 years, and
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
it
Over two
obviously it will
years.
continue.
Yes.
I promised you that I will not stop, and I will. I will not stop for a long time. And
Thank you. Well,
yeah, on this issue, Gaza is in our hearts, Palestine is in our hearts, Jerusalem, especially East Jerusalem, all these places are in our hearts deeply, and I will obviously never stop on these issues. We will continue to fight, to join your struggle till the end. So, uh, just heard about this, I'll ask you a few things now, how the, especially how the situation is currently now in Gaza. There have been these talks of ceasefires, and there's a call of ceasefire, but we know that some people say it, and how they are projected it, what is the ground reality. There's a massive difference between how these Trump proposals are going and how the ground reality is in Gaza. So I will ask you a few questions. The first question is, what is the ceasefire situation in Gaza? How will you like to describe it?
yeah, of course. Right now we live in a time what's called the so-called ceasefire, and in this time actually, um, still even after the so-called ceasefire, Israel occupies many parts of the Gaza Strip, the so-called yellow lines, and no one can cross these yellow lines. And they still, until this moment, as we are talking, brother, they still bombing the rest of our homes, and we cannot cross these yellow lines that they put it. It's like a blocks, let's say, which is uh, having the yellow color, and it's no one can cross them, and still they occupy this area, and still they are pumping the rest of our homes. And also we have break the ceasefire nearly 300 over 300 times in many different areas in Gaza, North Gaza, South Gaza. Every time I just walk in the streets and I'm trying to see how is the situation, how is my people are living. Every time I see the just to break suddenly with no reason they bombed this area or they bombed this area. So yeah, they're still doing the same hate and the same violence. Also, even if they are not bombing at all, brother, we are the people of Gaza. We have lost everything as well. And for me, actually, like if I want to talk about myself personally, I've lost my both two homes in two different areas in Gaza, and my people also living in the same situation. They have lost all of them homes, all of them schools, all of them universities, all of them companies, all of them life as well, all of them future even. But still they didn't, like all of my people, they didn't lose one thing, and they still have it until this moment, that they are still full of hope and full of resilience, and they are still believe that the better days are coming. And of course, as I always say, that the better days are coming, of course. So I hope that one day we will rebuild it more beautiful than before. But in general, that I have to say that the situation is still so bad, and still my people right now, after they have lost everything, they still living in small tents which cannot cover you from the rain or from the sun or from the bombs or from whatever. They still, all of my people right now at these moments, they are living in a small tents. And as you know that the winter is coming, like tomorrow, I guess it's going to be winter. There will be a heavy rain, and all the people of Gaza at these moments, they are afraid. They don't know what's going to happen. As we have experienced just some days in the rain, and we have experienced 2 years, let's say, in a tense with every time they send us a displacement and evacuation orders. So tomorrow is going to be, I think, tomorrow is going to be rainy day, and I think as how happened in the past 5 days, many tents will get completely destroyed, and many tents will be damaged because of the heavy storms and because of the heavy rain. So this is actually something that the people of Gaza are suffering from, even after the so-called ceasefire. So there is nothing got difference. Still, the situation is the same even after the so-called ceasefire, because the people of Gaza, they have lost everything as well. So yeah, this the situation in general. How is it like to live in this so-called ceasefire right now?
Yeah, so it is not a complete ceasefire by any sense of the imagination. And one thing I've learned, and rightly mentioned, there is about still 50% of Gaza, under their control. So we have to keep calling for complete withdrawal of Gaza. One thing we have learned from this colonial entity is that it is a very stubborn entity, right? So we have to be more stubborn than them, and we will keep calling out for the complete withdrawal of Gaza according to United Nations 67 borders, and for a complete ceasefire. This is not a complete ceasefire. We must keep calling out for that, and we must keep calling out for accountability. Next question is, many in Gaza, I mean, we see the tweets talk about, that they will start rebuilding. You talked about universities being destroyed. So is there a temperament of Gazans around that, they will start rebuilding things? Uh, will you start rebuilding your homes? The Gazans will start rebuilding their homes. How is the,
What happened? Internet.
in your homes? Have people start talking about it? Have they started it? We have seen how you talked about, universities being destroyed. So is there, a starting process of rebuilding in your homes and the institutions as well?
Of course, of course. If you watch my videos in the first time that I returned after a year and a half surviving in the war zone, and my home was standing, and but it was damaged and burned as well. So in that time when I returned, I immediately started rebuilding with nearly nothing. I just entered my home and I found there's no windows, there's no door, there is no nothing. They have steal everything inside my home. They have entered my home and they have burned my home as well. In that time, immediately, I didn't wait anyone to help me or something. I've started rebuilding, and all of my people, they live the same. Most of the homes in Gaza, it got damaged as well. Let's say at least it got damaged or completely destroyed. So The people who got their homes destroyed, they still living in the tents, as how I am right now. And the people who them homes got a little bit just damaged or something, they immediately start rebuilding. And of course, even after this, until this moment, this is the it must be the last, the second, let's say the second return for me to my home. But unfortunately, my home is not standing; it's completely destroyed, and right now it's like just about to rupple, let's say. But despite all of this, yes, we are the people of Gaza. We still trying to rebuild, but it's so hard when like for me personally, like as my home is completely destroyed. So this is a heavy ripples, and how can I like remove it while I have nothing? How can I, the people of Gaza, remove these ripples of them destroyed homes while they have nothing at all? So this is actually so hard to that they can rebuild by themselves, but they are, despite all of this, they are trying to do what they can. They are trying to rebuild just a small tent above the ripples of them home. We are trying to find any place so near to our homes to build a tent or whatever, because we are determined and we believe that this land is ours, and we have to show them that despite everything, we will do the best that we can, even if it's just a tent, because this land is ours, and whatever that you wanted to do, we will not stop because this land is ours and we are fighting for it. They are trying to do all of this hate and violence just to kick us out from our country, from Palestine, from Gaza Strip. So this is the main goal, and this is what they are trying to do, and we are trying our best until the last breath. And still, the people of Gaza are trying to rebuild with nothing at all. So in general, it's so hard actually to rebuild by ourselves while we have nothing at all, while they don't allow the borders to open. So the the everything that can enter easily and we can rebuild easily, let's say. But we are trying what we can to do, what we can do. So all the people of Gaza are trying them best. So this is how the situation of rebuilding right now.
Yeah,
And yeah.
this colonial entity, this Israeli settler colonialism. I mentioned that they are very stubborn, and they are stubborn and very sophisticated. They are very sophisticated. They know what to do in short-term elements, and they know what to do in long-term elements just to steal all the land, right? And we have to be as stubborn and as sophisticated as them. That's what I keep calling out to. That's why I keep writing to governments as well, and tell others to keep writing to governments. Rebuilding is a very important thing. If we don't, get that energy into the rebuilding process of the entire Gaza Strip, by the way, which belongs to you people, according to UN 67 borders. The entire Gaza Strip, rebuilding process of entire Gaza Strip and the entire institutions, if we don't do that, they will somehow, normalize it, that if that you people sort of don't deserve it, they will keep on, putting you in these little tents and, try to make your survival, less likely. And we have to keep at it. That's why, we are still calling the world that this hasn't stopped. This is just the beginning in a way. This is just the beginning, and we will keep at it. The rebuilding is very important. Third question is that what are the prices of food and water? I mean, there are a lot of stories going around that there are these gangs that are trying to elevate these prices, and all the donations that are sent to Gazans directly also don't reach them completely. So there are these things going. But what are the current prices of food and water that you people purchase?
Right now in Gaza, the situation about the food and this stuff actually got a little bit better, but still, that many kinds of food that cannot enter the Gaza Strip as how was it before, like chickens and eggs and milk and baby formula and this stuff. It's not entering the Gaza Strip as how is it before, how is it like before the war. Before the war, we have everything, and right now we have a lack with everything. There is a lack with everything, and everything just to get it that you have to fight for it and you have to pay so much, and it's not that easy to get it. We do have a lack with the, still until the moment of the gas. We like still until this moment I'm using the wood to turn on a fire, and it's a long story, and how is the smoke and this stuff. We can, until this moment, even while after the so-called ceasefire, we do not have a gas as a people of Gaza. And also that many kinds of food that's not available in the markets, and even we do have a lack with water. It's not like how is it before the war that we have the water inside our homes, inside our buildings. Right now, we are still fighting for the water, for the food, for the basic needs until this moment. Yes, the prices got a little bit cheaper than when we were in the hunger, not cheaper than when we were before the war. So still the price is not that cheap. Still it's expensive. Still it's very hard to find the basic things for need. Um, uh, the price is not that good, and also that they still make a blockade, and still they are not allowing the aid to reach us as well, and still there is a group of criminals, as I said before, that they are stealing the aid, and they do not allow it to reach the people in Gaza who really need. So it's not that good yet. Still, the people are suffering so much, and also that many people, even the prices get a little bit cheaper. Many people in Gaza, I swear that they are not able to buy anything at all. Even after the so-called ceasefire, even the prices is just normal. They are exhausted because there was one time that 1 kilogram of flour cost nearly $100. So that is so much expensive. About just 1 kilogram, which make like, let's say, a five breads, or like it's not that much. So still the situation is not that good, and people are so much exhausted because of this genocide. So, and I hope it will get better and it will be normal as how was it before. And inshallah, we believe that the better days are coming. Inshallah.
Yeah, hopefully it gets better. And that is where, I give you so much credit. You speak bravely about these entities like these uh, gangs and the zombies, right? I really like about them because there are other
Yeah.
Gazans. There are, other Gazans that I contacted as well. And they are, sort of fearful to even talk about them. But the thing is, if you don't talk about them, and if you don't, how will you, they will eventually overhaul you in the end, and they will take over. That's how simple it is. So we have to talk about them. Any entity that is interfering with the normal lives of the Gazans, we have to talk about them, whether they are gangs or the zombies, the Israeli settlers, colonialists. We have to talk about them, and we have to fight
Of
for our rights,
course.
and we have to fight for it together. Yeah. Next question is that what is the nearest hospital you can visit in Gaza?
Yes, for me personally, the nearest hospital is it's not a hospital. It is like, as you know, that most of the hospitals in Gaza they got completely destroyed, and the other is damaged as well. And we still, until the moment, they have a lack with medicine and the basic needs. And there is, as you know, that many people who they are injured, and many people who they are need a care. Let's say. So the nearest hospital for me, it's not a hospital. It is in this area. I'm still in the south, in the tent. The nearest hospital, it's say like it's just a medical point. Let's say it's not a hospital. It's just a small medical point that we can visit, try to get to the basic needs. Maybe if you need medicine, you cannot even find the medicine like how was it before the war. You cannot, it's not easily, and you have sometimes to pay so much to get what you need, and sometimes you couldn't get what you really need, and you still like how you are sick or whatever or injured. And if you're lucky you can get through it, and if you're not lucky maybe you're gonna pass away, or you're gonna lose a part of your body, let's say. Me personally, when I got injured in Gaza, I got injured in a time that is very bad, inside the hunger, and there's inside the genocide. And while we are in hunger, and they don't allow the border to open at all, and also there was no hospitals that working because there is no foul working entering to Gaza, and there is many people who they are injured, and it was actually for me so hard, and I've lost so much weight, and also that I've lost the complete control of my finger, like how was it before the war. But alhamdulillah, it's better that I can control. I didn't expect that I will get through it. So I was so lucky that to get through it while there is no even food to just to get your recovery, you know? So also many people of Gaza who they was in the same situation of mine, and they have lost many parts of them body, and they have maybe some of them they passed away as well. This is so urgent, and they have actually to leave to get them treatment as well. So this is how the situation. And the nearest hospital for me is a medical point, a small medical point, which is like a tent, and we can get some basic needs of medicine in these tents. So this is how.
Yeah, hospitals are the most important things in terms of after food and water, in terms of survival. So I also heard that there were like more than 30 hospitals, I think, in Gaza, and now probably 15 or 16 are still functional. As you are talking about, they are they've turned into, they are partially functional, these medical points. And a lot of credit to, I must mention, a lot of credit to many international doctors. I mean, they remained consistent in this as well. A lot of Pakistani doctors as well, volunteered to go to Gaza, and they're still volunteering to go to Gaza. We must
Yeah,
give.
may Allah bless them. May Allah bless them. Actually, I've in that time also I forgot to mention that
Mhm.
I've been in trying, like, because there's no doctors here in Gaza, they can help me. So I was trying to contact some doctors in Bangladesh and Pakistan and these countries. So may Allah bless them all. They all tried to help me. I've been in contact with them online. So this is actually so many people in Gaza, because there's no hospitals and there's no doctors. They are trying to do this and to use this way to contact doctors from outside the country. So yes, of course.
Yeah, many doctors, volunteered to go, and they were throughout this in this process. Yeah, Matt Gilbert, many others, Tom Potoker, many doctors. We'll talk about them later. Yeah, last question to you is: how many of your families and friends were injured or martyred during this entire genocide?
Oh, many friends, many close friends of mine, they have passed away actually in this genocide. I really miss them, to be honest. But
An
yes,
estimate
of
number.
course, I have lost nearly like, yes, six friends I have lost, and let's say hundreds of friends they are injured. Many friends. I don't know how is exact the number of the people who they are injured of my close friends. Uh, so that's a lot. Actually, that's a lot. Everyone in Gaza got like if injured or got or lose anything. We all have lost many things. Our homes, or some people have lost them close friends and them family members. And yes, this is stuff. Alhamdulillah, my family they are okay. Just they are suffering because of the war. They got some a small injured, like how I get, and this is stuff. But alhamdulillah, we are all okay. We're still alive. But my friends, yes, I've lost many friends in this genocide. Yes.
Yeah, these were all the questions, and this is one case, by the way. This is one case. Imagine how many people have lost their loved ones, the loved ones who had feelings for each other, who had strong feelings for each other. And, it's absolutely horrible how this thing has shaped out. We must keep talking about, and the significance of, I say, the Palestinian life. We have to talk about it, keep talking about this for years and years and years. That way we will be able to justify the importance of Palestinian life. And lastly, I would must mention, that there are these things of, we faced some social media restrictions as well, but we continued for speaking out for truth. And I watched your stream with Taik Hiki as well, another great activist who is also brave enough to speak for truth despite all the social media restrictions. And you mentioned last time about Anas Sharif, a journalist who was martyred. I would like to bring up a name. I have a lot of sessions with a hero of mine, Harry Fear. I talked about to you last time as well about him. And he was the, I'd like to mention, he's the leading international journalist on Gaza for more than 13 years. He continuously kept at this issue, never stopped on this issue, covered two wars in Gaza in 2012 and 2014, risked his life as well during that time, and then worked for RT News. RT got banned, and he is, I think, one of the ones who has faced the most social media, probably one of the most social media restrictions. He faced a lot of social media restrictions. It's very hard, it's very hard to talk about people who don't belong to your ethnicity, right? It's very hard to do that, right? So I have developed a
Of
good,
course.
sort of relationship with him. I would like to mention him, to probably get him back in the algorithm, right? He has worked so hard for Gaza. He's, I think, number one in terms of more than 13 years for Gaza, and he's still at this issue. He really loves what Gazan people think about him.
Yeah, of course. May Allah bless them all. Actually, these people are heroes, and they are so close to my heart. To see people are trying to do the best for Gaza, to speak up for us. So they all so close to my heart, and I love them so much. And we all are in Gaza are praying for them because they are trying to bring awareness and they are trying to put all the eyes on Gaza. So even my friends, the activists and social media platforms, they are actually they are helping me and they are helping the people of Gaza to raise them voices, and they are actually raising them voices as well for the people of Gaza. So may Allah bless them all, and also you, my brother, you're doing so much. So may Allah bless you.
Yeah,
You're an
thank
amazing. Trust me, you're amazing, and keep doing this. What an honor, brother. What an honor. So to see people from all over the world, they are trying to do the best for the people of Gaza. So may Allah bless you.
yeah,
And I'm just telling you a message that do not stop. Do not stop
yeah,
because your voice really important, of course. So may Allah bless you all, guys, and I hope that, of course, there's a day for the freedom of Palestine, and one
yeah,
day Palestine will be free, and we will celebrate with each other for the freedom of Palestine. So thank you
yeah.
so much, my brother.
Yeah, consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Only people of knowledge know about that. Only people who have the strong will know about that. Because as people hear about these ceasefires, we see the world starts to their temperament starts to drop, and this is the time where the real people wake up, right? No, no, this is not the time
Of
to drop. This
course,
is the time to be even stronger than before, because the colonial entity knows about this. That if your temperament starts dropping, they start to jump in. No, this is not the time to stop. This is the time to be even stronger now and keep calling
of
out for
course,
accountability and for rebuilding of Gaza and for importance of Palestinian life. I often say that we have to speak about compensation for each and every Palestinian life. We hear the governments always talking about condemnation, condemnation. I say I don't like the condemnation word. I like the compensation word. Compensation for each and every person of Gaza who lost their loved ones or who lost their homes. Bring the Western governments to accountability to provide compensation for all these people who were responsible for funding this genocide. And we have to, propel this narrative. Lastly, I'll mention, I wanted to request you probably a three-way session we can make as well. A three-way session with my friends, or possible collaborations in that regard. Probably share each other videos. We can get that. Sharing is very powerful to get our messages across. Share each
of
other videos.
course. Yes, of course.
Helping each other with donations, like I know support amir.com. I'll keep mentioning it. Supporting Harry Fear, I would like to mention his name as well. Supporting him, mention these people in to help them with donations.
Of course, yeah. This is actually very, very important that we have to help each other because we are all in the are going in the same issue, which is for the freedom of Palestine. So of course, that's very important. And as I said before, my activists on all social media platforms also they are helping me to raise my voice, and they are trying to raise them voices for Palestine. And of course, we have to be all together for the freedom of Palestine. Because when we all and all around the world, when we are all together, of course, there is a day for the freedom of Palestine. So this is actually very, very important that we have to keep all of our eyes on Gaza, especially in this time because of the so-called ceasefire. It's not doesn't mean the freedom of Palestine. Still, they are occupying many parts of Gaza Strip. Still, they are doing the same hate and the same violence. So it's very, very important that we have to raise our voices as much as possible until the freedom of Palestine. And of course, hopefully, inshallah, well, Palestine will be free, and we will all celebrate with each other in this beautiful day, inshallah.
Yeah, and I really pray to Allah to someday meet Palestine as well, meet all you people. May that prayer be accepted as well. So honored to talk to you again, and I'd like to keep doing this in future.
Of course, what an honor, brother. Thank you so much for the invitation. May Allah bless you and keep doing the best that you can. May Allah bless you. Our all our prayers are with you.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu
Thank you.
alaikum.
Thank you so much.